Maintain your posture and composure at all costs in these moments. Have you ever felt like the people around you were testing you? As if, with every step you take toward your goals, someone shows up with a critique, a doubt, or even an opinion that seems to serve only one purpose: to discourage you. Maybe you've heard things like, "That's too risky. Why not try something easier?" Or even that silence filled with disdain. But you know what? Those words, those attitudes, they have nothing to do with you. In reality, what people say or do reflects more about them than about you. Often, what lies behind these provocations is a mix of frustration, fear, and insecurity. Someone trapped in a dark place within themselves often finds it hard to tolerate the light they see in someone moving forward. But the question is, what will you do about it? Will you let these attitudes distract you, or will you use them as fuel to strengthen yourself even more? Stoicism teaches us a powerful truth. What truly matters is not what others do or say, but how we choose to react. You can't control what happens around you, but you have absolute control over how it affects you. Imagine your mind as a great ship on the high seas. The waves may be strong, the winds unpredictable, but as long as you are steering the helm, no challenge can change your course. And that's exactly what provocations are: passing waves. They only have the power you decide to give them. So, the next time someone tries to mess with your emotions, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, does this situation deserve my energy, or should my focus remain on my purpose? This is where you show your true strength, not by reacting with anger, not by falling into the trap of those trying to unsettle you, but by simply standing firm, silently, with your eyes fixed on what truly matters. Remember, no one can take you off your path unless you allow it. What they say is not the truth about you. It's merely a reflection of their own inability to handle their fears. And here's the secret. The calmer you remain, the more you frustrate those who try to provoke you, because nothing disarms someone trying to unnerve you more than realizing you are unshakable. Stoicism is a practice of freedom and inner strength. It's not about defeating others, but about overcoming yourself, mastering your emotions, your choices, your mind. When you become this kind of person, those who try to derail you simply lose interest. And do you know why? Because they realize they have no power over you. Life is full of distractions, tests, and people who want to see you stray from your path. But every provocation is also an opportunity, a chance to reaffirm who you are, what you want, and what you're willing to do to get there. Because in the end, the only game that matters isn't the one others play with you, but the one you play with yourself. So today, I challenge you to do something. Take control of your helm. Decide that no small word or attitude will divert you from your purpose, because someone who has control over themselves has already won before any battle even begins. But perhaps you're wondering, why do some people seem so determined to knock you off course? Why provoke, criticize, or even root for your failure when you've done nothing to harm them? The answer lies in their own actions. There's a truth about those who attack that few are willing to admit, but that you need to understand to move forward. Those who try to bring you down aren't above you, they're below you. And I don't mean this in terms of arrogance or superiority, but as a fact you need to recognize. Most of these people are already drowning in their own failures, but instead of facing reality and seeking change, they choose the easier path, trying to drag others down with them. Think about it for a moment. How often have you seen someone successful, fulfilled, and content spend their energy trying to destroy someone else? Almost never, right? That's because those in control of their own lives have no need to diminish anyone else. But those who feel lost, frustrated, or incapable, well, they see you as a threat. Not because you've done something against them, but because you're a living reminder of what they could be. And that hurts. Stoicism teaches us something essential here. Another person's anger, contempt, or criticism isn't about you, but about their internal state. And when you understand this, something magical happens. You stop taking the attacks personally because you realize they have nothing to do with you. This is where the Stoic response comes in. Empathy, clarity, and indifference. Empathy to recognize that those attacking you are fighting their own shadows. Clarity to understand that their behavior doesn't define you and shouldn't divert you from your path. And indifference to deny these people the power to steal your peace. Imagine an intense flame, like a candle's. Someone blows on it, trying to extinguish it, but instead, the air feeds the fire, making it even stronger. This is the power of Stoic indifference. Every provocation, every attack becomes fuel for your strength when you choose not to react. And you know what's most interesting? The calmer you remain, the more these people tire, because those who have given up fighting for themselves don't have the patience to persist against someone who stays firm. They seek reactions, probe for weaknesses, but when they find none, they simply give up. So remember, those trying to bring you down aren't ahead of you. They're stuck in their own rut. Don't descend to their level. Keep climbing. Because by doing so, you not only free yourself from negativity, but you also demonstrate that true strength lies in being unshaken. After all, as Stoicism says, the greatest power is self-mastery, and no one can take that away from you. What if the attacks don't come from strangers or those you already expect? What if they come from where support and understanding should exist the most? There's a pain that many avoid talking about. Realizing that those you love might, consciously or unconsciously, be the first to try to sabotage your steps. Let's talk about it, because acknowledging this reality is the first step to overcoming it. Have you ever felt that the people who should support you, close friends, family, or even someone you deeply love, end up becoming one of the biggest obstacles on your journey? That feeling of betrayal is like an invisible knife striking the most vulnerable part of you, your heart. After all, how can those who are supposed to stand by your side act in such an opposite way to what you expect? But here's the truth. This is more common than we imagine, and often it doesn't stem from pure malice. Many times, these people are afraid. Fear of losing the connection they have with you, fear that your growth will expose their own limitations, fear of seeing you achieve something they never dared to pursue. However, Stoicism invites us to view this situation differently. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's unfair, but it's also a powerful opportunity for inner growth. When you learn to deal with this kind of behavior, you become unshakable. The first Stoic lesson here is to accept that you cannot control anyone else's feelings or actions. What others do or say, even when it comes from a place of distorted love, belongs to them, not to you. What you can and must control is your reaction. And that leads us to the second lesson, turning pain into strength. Every time someone close to you attacks you, you have a choice. You can let that pain consume you, questioning your decisions and your worth, or you can use it to reinforce your purpose even more. Because the success you seek isn't just to prove something to them, it's to fully live what you know you deserve. Picture yourself as a tree facing a storm. The strong wind may shake your branches, but it also makes your roots grow even deeper. The criticism and sabotage from those you love can be that wind. They test your strength, but also make you grow from the inside out. And finally, the third lesson, empathy without abandoning yourself. Recognize that these people are also fighting their own internal battles. But don't confuse empathy with accepting toxic behaviors. Being stoic doesn't mean being passive. It means knowing how to set boundaries while maintaining your peace. Remember, you don't have to carry anyone on your back to move forward. True love isn't based on dependence or control, but on the freedom to grow and flourish. So, if the attacks come from those you love, use them as fuel to build your inner fortress. Keep walking toward your purpose, because ultimately, your success might inspire them to face their own fears. And here's the beauty of it all. By staying true to yourself, you become a light. And for those who truly love you, that light might be what they need to find their own path. After facing external attacks, and even those that come from the ones you love, it's time to talk about what truly defines the outcome of these situations. It's not what was said or done against you, it's what you choose to do with it. There's an extraordinary power that only you can wield, the power to decide how to react. Have you ever stopped to think that no one can hurt you without your consent? It seems simple, but it's one of the deepest truths of Stoicism. What hurts us isn't what happens out there, but how we interpret it within ourselves. You can't control others' actions, words, or intentions, but you can completely control your response to them. And here's the beauty of it. This freedom is absolute. No one can take it away from you. They might try to provoke you, offend you, criticize you, but what you do with those situations depends solely on you. Imagine that every provocation or attack is a spark. You have two options. You can turn that spark into an uncontrollable fire inside you, or you can simply ignore it, letting it disappear into the air. What Stoicism teaches us is that the second option isn't just possible, it's liberating. When you choose not to react impulsively, something incredible happens. You not only protect your inner peace, but also begin to see every challenging situation as an opportunity for growth. Someone insulted you? Great. Now you can practice patience. Someone tried to destabilize you? Perfect. Here's your chance to demonstrate resilience. The Stoics understood that life is full of situations beyond our control, but what truly matters isn't what happens, it's what we do with it. The criticism that seemed destructive can be turned into motivation. The rejection that felt like a blow can be seen as a redirection to something greater. And do you know what's most powerful about all of this? The serenity you gain when you realize that no one else has the power to control your life. Your reaction is yours, and that is a kind of freedom that few can achieve. So the next time someone tries to steal your peace, pause for a moment, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, does this situation deserve my attention? How can I turn this into something that strengthens me? By doing this, you not only disarm those who try to hurt you, but also empower yourself. True power isn't about controlling others, but mastering yourself. And that's a victory no one can take away from you. After all, your peace isn't in the hands of those who provoke you, but in the strength with which you choose to react. If the power to choose your reaction is the first step to freedom, the true fortress lies in how you prepare your mind. In the end, your mindset determines whether you thrive in chaos or succumb to it. So, the question is, will your mind be your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness? Your mind is the most important battlefield you'll face in life. This is where the greatest battles occur, not against others, but against doubts, fears, distractions, and provocations that try to divert you from your purpose. That's why fortifying your mind isn't just necessary, it's essential. Fortifying the mind doesn't mean closing your eyes to the world or ignoring reality. On the contrary, it means facing what's in front of you with the clarity and conviction of a philosopher. It means looking at the chaos around you and saying, I know who I am, I know what I want, and nothing will steer me off my path. But how do you do this? It all starts with self-awareness. Who are you, really? What drives you? What are the values you won't compromise on? And what are the dreams you're willing to chase no matter what? When you have these answers clear, the external noise becomes irrelevant. Now, imagine your mind as a shield. A well-built shield withstands even the most brutal blows, but if it's rusted and full of cracks, any attack will be enough to break it. Building this mental shield requires daily training, reflecting on your values, aligning your actions with your beliefs, and learning to filter what truly deserves your attention. The Stoics had a powerful exercise called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would imagine the worst possible scenarios to mentally prepare themselves so that when difficulties actually arose, they were ready. You can do the same. Think about the challenges that might come and visualize how you will face them with calm, courage, and determination. When your mind is fortified, nothing, absolutely nothing, can destabilize you. Criticism, you turn it into learning. Defeats, they become lessons. Chaos, just another opportunity to practice serenity. Most importantly, by building this mindset, you not only withstand the world, but also become an example of strength to those around you. Because an unshakable mind inspires. It shows that it's possible to face any storm and remain standing. So ask yourself, how are you building your mental shield today? Are you feeding your mind with clear and purposeful thoughts, or are you letting distractions and insecurities corrode it? Remember, your mind can be your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. The choice is entirely yours. Be unshakable, not because the world will stop testing you, but because you know you're prepared for whatever comes your way. After all, Stoicism teaches us that chaos is inevitable, but living in peace is a decision, and that decision begins within you. If fortifying your mind is what makes you strong, knowing how to use that strength wisely is what makes you invincible. True victory isn't about winning an argument or proving you're right. It's about maintaining calm and grace even when the world around you is in chaos. Let's talk about the secret the Stoics carried. Elegance in adversity. Imagine yourself in the middle of a storm. The wind blows fiercely, the rain falls heavily, but in its center there's a calm place where nothing moves. That's the Stoic. The point of serenity amidst confusion. True strength isn't fighting against the wind, but staying firm, refusing to be swayed. When someone tries to provoke you, the most common reaction is to respond in kind, reacting with anger, indignation, or trying to prove a point. But here's the secret. The one who controls their anger controls their strength, and more importantly, controls the environment around them. Think about this. Every provocation you receive is a test. It's a chance to show the world and yourself that you are not a slave to your emotions. When you respond with calm and grace, you strip power away from the one who tried to destabilize you. You turn the attack into an opportunity to show who's truly in control. The Stoics believed that every challenging situation is a training ground for virtue, and adversity is the perfect setting to practice patience, temperance, and wisdom. This doesn't mean accepting injustice or submitting to those who try to diminish you. It means choosing your battles intelligently. The next time someone tries to irritate or offend you, try a Stoic approach. Instead of reacting immediately, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what does this situation require of me? Will anger solve anything, or will it just exhaust me? Silence is often the most powerful response. And here's the fascinating part. When you master yourself, something curious happens. The environment around you starts to change. People realize they don't have control over you, and it disarms them. They may persist for a while, but deep down, they know they're losing. Elegance in adversity is this, not responding with the same chaos being thrown at you. It's maintaining composure, even when everything around you seems to demand an impulsive reaction. It's turning every provocation into fuel for growth, not a reason for weariness. Remember, strength isn't shouting louder or reacting faster. It's being the safe harbor in the midst of a storm. It's having the confidence that your calm is worth more than any impulse. When you act with wisdom, you not only overcome adversity, you transform it into part of your journey of evolution. So, the next time life tests you, be the one who masters the environment, not with anger, but with serenity. Because the one who controls their mind controls everything that matters, and that is something no one can take away from you. After learning to maintain calm and elegance in the face of adversity, the question arises, How should you respond to those who try to belittle you? The Stoic answer is simple yet powerful. Don't respond with words, respond with actions. Nothing disarms provocateurs more than watching you grow in silence. When you thrive without distractions, something magical happens. The provocations lose their strength. The noise around you becomes insignificant. Those who try to throw you off your path aren't prepared to handle your silent resilience. They expect shouts, reactions, justifications, but silence. That's the most unexpected and effective blow. The Stoics believed words hold little value without actions to support them. This is even more true in the context of provocations. Those focused on criticizing are rarely building anything. They remain stuck in place while you move forward, and that's what bothers them. While they talk, you act. But thriving in silence doesn't mean hiding. It means doing the necessary work without feeling the need to broadcast every step. It means focusing on your goals, building your achievements, and letting your results speak for you. True success doesn't need to be announced. It's self-evident. Think of great examples of resilience. How many people have overcome attacks, criticism, or rejection, not by arguing, but by showing through results that they were right. That's precisely what Stoicism teaches us. When you turn every obstacle into fuel for growth, you make it clear that strength lies in action, not reaction. There's more. Thriving in silence frustrates those who attack you because they lose their ability to affect you. They expect reactions, hope to throw you off balance, but you just keep moving forward, calm, serene, determined, and that completely disarms them. So how can you adopt this practice in your life? Start by changing your focus. Instead of spending energy defending yourself or explaining your choices, use that energy to move forward. Focus on what matters to you and what will take you to the next level. Each time you feel the urge to respond to a provocation, ask yourself, will this help me get where I want to go? If the answer is no, let it go and get back to work. Because in the end, the greatest impact you can make isn't in what you say, but in what you do. Silent success is the response they fear most because it shows their words have no power over you. And here's what happens when you follow this path. Those who once provoked you start observing you with respect and even fear. They realize you're someone who remains unshaken, who doesn't waste time on pointless arguments, because you're busy building something much greater. So don't waste time trying to prove something to those who don't believe in you. Prove it to yourself. Stay silent, keep moving forward, and let your achievements speak louder than any words ever could. Because in the end, the true victory is living the life you've chosen while others are still trying to figure out how you did it. After thriving in silence and letting your achievements speak for you, an even deeper question arises. How can you not only reach your goals, but also build a truly unshakable life? The answer lies in practicing Stoic virtues, those that cannot be shaken by words or circumstances. Let's talk about that. Great achievements aren't shaken by small provocations. It's a simple yet powerful truth. Why? Because what truly sustains a meaningful life isn't awards, material possessions, or external recognition. It's the values you cultivate within yourself: courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. These are the Stoic virtues that shape an unshakable individual. Think of them as the pillars that support your life. When you align your actions with these principles, what others say or do becomes completely irrelevant. A Stoic knows that true success lies in living according to your virtues, not in pleasing others or avoiding criticism. But what does it mean to live with courage? Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. It's facing challenges, knowing failure is possible, but never letting it paralyze you. And wisdom? It's the guide. The ability to discern what is within your control and what is not. Practicing wisdom means understanding that some things simply don't deserve your energy. It's the skill to say, "This doesn't belong to me," even in the face of provocations or difficulties. Justice, in turn, is about acting rightly no matter the situation. It's treating others with respect, even when it isn't reciprocated, not out of weakness, but because you know your character matters more than the circumstances. Finally, temperance, the virtue of maintaining balance. It means not overindulging in emotions, reactions, or even desires. It's the center that keeps you steady, even when the world seems to spin out of control around you. When you live aligned with these virtues, something extraordinary happens. Your resilience becomes unshakable. Provocations once so significant are seen for what they truly are, insignificant. Difficulties, once insurmountable, become just another step on your path to growth. But practicing these virtues requires persistence. Persistence isn't just continuing, it's continuing with purpose. It's knowing that every small effort today is building something eternal. The values you cultivate within yourself can't be stolen, broken, or destroyed. They are yours forever. So the next time you face a provocation or obstacle, ask yourself, am I acting with courage? Am I using wisdom to decide my response? Am I being just, even when it's hard? Am I maintaining balance, even amidst chaos? These questions reconnect you to what truly matters. Here's the secret. Those who live virtuously are already winning, regardless of what others say or do. True victory doesn't lie in gaining others' approval, but in knowing you are living in alignment with your beliefs. Build your life on these pillars, and you'll find that nothing, absolutely nothing, can shake what you're building. An unshakable life isn't one that never faces difficulties, but one that remains firm, no matter what happens. That strength is yours if you choose to cultivate it. After understanding the importance of building an unshakable life, a practical question arises. How should we deal with provocations, attacks, and challenges that inevitably cross our path? Stoicism offers a surprising answer. Turn those attacks into strategy, because in the end, life's game isn't won by strength or speed, but by patience and focus. Have you noticed that in the long run, it's not the quickest reactor who wins, but the one who knows when to act? Patience is a powerful weapon, and Stoicism teaches us that mastering it transforms any attack into an opportunity for growth and triumph. Think about those who try to bring you down. They usually share a common trait, a lack of discipline and vision. They don't invest time in their own development because they're too busy trying to distract or weaken others. And that's exactly where you can stand out. The Stoic understands that every provocation is, in fact, a test, a chance to practice patience and focus. When you choose not to react impulsively, but act strategically, you take control of the game. And as we know, those who control themselves hold true power. Turning an attack into strategy means rewriting the narrative. If someone criticizes you, use it as an opportunity to reflect and improve, if the criticism is valid. If it's not, let it go, knowing it says more about them than about you. If someone tries to destabilize you, see it as a chance to reinforce your resilience. Every attempt to bring you down can become a stepping stone to elevate you even higher. The key lies in making your actions a memorable example. While they waste energy trying to divert your focus, you keep moving forward, building something solid and enduring. Imagine the impact of this. They expect your downfall, but instead they find you stronger and more determined. How can you apply this in practice? Start by exercising patience in small situations. When something bothers you, ask yourself, does this really deserve my attention right now? Use the time you would spend reacting to plan your next steps. Be so focused on your goals that any distraction becomes irrelevant. Over time, this approach becomes second nature. You'll realize that true strength lies in staying focused, even when everything around you seems designed to derail you. Patience isn't about waiting passively. It's about acting at the right moment, intentionally and effectively. And here's the most powerful takeaway. Those who possess patience and discipline become untouchable. People who once tried to bring you down will eventually realize they lost the game before it even began. Not because you were faster, but because you were more strategic, more focused, and more resilient. So the next time someone tries to disrupt your peace, remember, you don't need to react. Just keep building, keep growing, because in the end, success isn't for those who shout the loudest, but for those who act with purpose. By living this way, you become living proof that the game of life is won by those with patience and vision. Now that you've come this far, tell me, what did you think of this content? Did any of these reflections resonate with something you've experienced or are experiencing now? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Share it with me. Your experience might inspire someone who needs to hear exactly this. And if this video brought you value, made you reflect, or gave you a new perspective, don't forget to like it. That helps spread this message to more people who might be facing similar challenges. And of course, subscribe to the channel to continue this journey with me. Together, we're building a community of people striving to grow, overcome, and live with purpose. Shall we? I'm counting on you.